Right, it's cold. It's what's the date today? It's December the 2nd, and it's frost on the ground outside. This my workshop is unheated. Um, I've got a little fan heater that I put on in here, but it costs a fortune to run, so I try not to use it too much. But I've had paint to dry, so I've had to put it on a little bit, and I want to show you. I'm not sure how the best way to show you this. I'm going to have to get on my knees. There we go. So all of the woodwork is painted below the desk level. It's not perfect, it's just emulsion paint, and I'm not going to make it pristine. It's not any, if it was inside my house I would do a slightly better job, but I don't need to in here. That stuff under there is never going to be seen. It's just for storing crates, but I just wanted it to look not wood. So that's all complete, apart from that one board behind me there, which I forgot to paint last night. I'll do that. That's one of the shelves for the centre removable section. I'll flash some pictures up on screen of so it can be, I can have it so that this centre leg is removed and all of these shelves are removed, or I can have just one in there, and it all fits together really nicely. So everything's painted, and what's next? The next job is to get all of the stuff off the top and store it in the crate, in the shelves underneath. That includes some of the stuff over this side and some of the stuff over this side as well. All of this needs to be stored away and rearranged. Once I've got everything under the desk, then I think about the top level. So I think I might put the plywood tops on next, and then I need to build the extra my desk at the end for my PC. That needs a little bit of thought, because when I originally designed this, I was going to have just it go straight around at the same level, but because so a normal desk needs to be, for somebody my height, needs to be 70 centimeters. Let's get a tape measure. Right, so a normal desk is 70 centimeters. At this end of the room, it's bang on 70 centimeters. If I go down to this end of the room, it's 81 centimeters. Oh no, that's not. It's 79 centimeters. I was measuring a piece of wood on top. So that's 10 centimeters higher than it should be, which is not really good for you. My desk that I've been using over here, that I built a while ago, I actually made it too high, and I've been suffering bad backs and all sorts of other medical ailments I won't go into. And I put a lot of that down to using a desk that's too high for my height. And I've decided I want a desk that's exactly the right height. So I'm going to make it 70 centimeters, which means it needs to be stepped down over there in that corner. So I need to step it down and then go across. So so I need to come down here, and the new desk needs to be that height, and that leaves something here that I need to do. So I need to work out what to do here, how to support the desk at this end of the arrangement. It only comes up to here, so I can't attach it to this. There's a few things to think about there. So that's the next stage after getting the tops cleared off. And then once I've got the desk done, all the plywood on top, the front trim needs to be done. That shouldn't take too long, he says. Once that's all done, because I've got Christmas coming up and it's been a long time since I've done anything, I'm gonna leave this next stage, the above the desk, the display area. I'm leaving that until after Christmas. It means it's not going to be ideal. It's not going to be a lovely big reveal of the whole thing finished after lots of work, which is a shame. But I think I'd rather do that, because I want to I want to live with the lower sections first. It's gonna make life a lot easier for me anyway, because I'll have all that extra storage and extra desk area to work on. So once I've got all of that in place, and that does also mean I won't be able to have computers displayed yet, because there's going to be stuff stored on top. Then in the new year, I will have a clearer idea of what I want to do next with all of that space above. And I'm open to suggestions. I'm good at suggestions. I like it when people help out. So yeah, there's a lot to do before that anyway. So I think, well, I say a lot to do. I reckon I can knock this out. What day is it today? It's Saturday today. I think I'll probably have the lower section finished within the next week. So I'm hoping to get some videos out before Christmas, including the missing Spectrum one, which there's been a development on that. The missing, for those that don't know, in the charity stream, I auctioned off lots of Spectrums that I built, and some that, you know, were donated. I think everything was donated, but there was one in particular that I built from scratch, a ZX Spectrum issue 6A motherboard. That was donated. The motherboard was donated by DevZine off of Twitter, who created that replica. Lovely thing it was. And I provided the case, which was a translucent grey case in white faceplate, white keyboard. Beautiful case. I put that all together. Lots of bits and pieces donated by different people. Flight case with custom vinyls donated by Mike DX. And there was Nigel's Workbench provided a game. Alan Turvey provided some of his games to go in with it, and it was just a lovely thing. It sold for £680 on eBay for the charity. The charity got that money. That's all fine and good, but the buyer never got the buyer, Andrew, never received the Spectrum. It never made it, which is a story on its own. In the end, before they ran out of time to claim their money back, because you only get protection on eBay for so many days, they had to put in a claim saying that the item had not been delivered, which they did. And to be fair to eBay, it wasn't their fault. It was actually either UPS or Pitney Bowes in America. eBay refunded Andrew all of his money, including all of his shipping fees. He paid a lot more than £680 because of the international shipping fees on the global shipping program. He got all of his money back. Andrew very, very kindly offered to give the money back to me because, you know, he donated that money for charity. But I said, well, you haven't actually got your Spectrum, so it's kind of not fair. Andrew, you know, he's the one who's lost out. So what I said was, with that money, I will build him a new ZX Spectrum, one that's actually more suited to somebody living in America. So I've actually decided to Harlequin 128K in the same case, the same translucent grey case, with the, you know, the same colour scheme, and I'll build that and make a video out of that to tell its story. That's what I'm hoping to do in this month. But there's been a twist in the tale. Yesterday, Paul, Universal Retro Boss Paul, he tweeted, no, he direct messaged me on Twitter that the Spectrum had resurfaced. And at first, I was pleased. Then I was petrified. I will survive. Hey, hey. But the problem was that they had used... So what's happened here is eBay warned me this would happen. They said that... hang on one second. Yeah, sorry about that. My arm was getting tired from holding the selfie stick thing, so I've put you on a tripod. Yeah, eBay warned me that they would try to recover their costs because they were the ones out of pocket by 600 and more than £680. They'd shipped it all the way to America. They then shipped it all the way back to the UK, back to their own warehouse. And they said, I asked them straight up, will we ever see this Spectrum again? And they said no. They auction all of these things off, and then people buy them up and sell them, for profit. And that's what's happened. Somebody's bought a pallet load of undelivered goods. This happens a lot, and you can buy a pallet. I wouldn't encourage you to do this because you could get a pallet load of socks with holes in. It could be absolute junk. It's one of these gamble things, and obviously this person does this. If you look at their account, I'll put the link to the listing in my description. Please don't bid on it. I'll get to that. What they do is, if you look at all their other listings, that they just have loads of random things. So they'll get these pallets and put them on eBay and try to make their money back. It's a big gamble. They've opened this one and found a flight case with a ZX Spectrum in it. The problem is that they obviously searched for my listing, or eBay provided them with the original listing. They've used my original listing, all of my photos, my logo, and my original description, which included the words all proceeds would be donated to charity. And I was a bit shocked at that. That bit really did concern me. It makes it, my logo is on the front picture, and so anyway, I contacted them and they realised that this wasn't appropriate. They removed the charity link. They also, again, I then chased them up about my logo and said, can you remove my logo as well? They removed that. I've said they can use the pictures, that's fine. I don't really care. It's no skin off my nose. Then I'm not precious about that sort of thing. And I also said, are you open to offers? Because I'd be willing to, it's not. I don't think it's worth. I don't think they'll recover the money that they're asking for. Whether it goes for they're asking for £299 opening bid plus postage, which is about possibly what it's worth if you were to buy all the parts yourself. Around that, maybe. It is a good bundle. But the reason it went for 600, they must have got excited when they saw the original listing went for £680. The reason that went for £680 was because it was a charity item, and we drummed up the publicity on it. I put a lot of work into making sure that everybody knew about it, and we got wonderful bids from people like Andrew that was just I'd love to know what his top bid was. Actually, I would love to know that. And like the Metron went for over £1,000. But these are charity prices. These don't reflect the actual value of something. If I didn't have a YouTube channel, if I wasn't running a charity event, then it wouldn't sell for that much money. If I just built it and put it on eBay, probably, I don't know, 250 quid maybe. Who's going to buy a Spectrum for £300? That's, I know it's a special one, but if there's somebody random looking on eBay for a ZX Spectrum, it's not the one they're going to go for. So, although it is brand new and it is a lovely looking one, it does concern me. What I would like to happen is I would like to buy it back. I've offered them the chance to sell it to me for what they're asking, opening bid, and they've refused. I don't, I know other people have also contacted them directly, and I wonder if there are a few people that may be pointing out the morals of this event, of this story, and maybe asking them to do the right thing. I mean, they've spent money on it. They want to recover their costs, and I would be happy to pay what they paid for it to get it back, because what I want to do is put it back up for charity and see if we can raise a bit more money on it. So what I'll do is I'm going to bid the opening bid. I hope it hasn't already gone. I'll bid the opening bid. Please, if you are watching this, and let people know not to bid on it. It feels a bit wrong to do this, to stop them getting more money, but I think what they're asking for is actually probably. I mean, I put it on for 99p opening bid. Maybe if they'd have put it down for less, say if they'd have put it on £100 opening bid, I probably would have gone up to about 250, maybe 300 would have been the top thing I was thinking about. I'm not sure if that's just bias from what I already know, but that's what's going to happen. I'm going to bid 299 or 300 quid. I'll bid, and hopefully we'll get it back. We'll put it back up for auction. I've asked my close followers in my Discord and in the Big Red Arrow Club and some other YouTube channels if they'll help out with the cost of this, because you know I can't afford 300 quid out of my own pocket. And the alternative is that I buy it myself and I take the money, you know, sell it again for charity. It'll obviously go for more than that if we have another mini event, in which I'll get to what I plan to do with that at some point. I'll sell it. I could sell it for the charity and then take the £300 out of that money. But I've already been offered by various people some financial support to help me buy it. So it looks like I'll have pretty much all of the getting up towards the £300 to buy it back, and then we can raise a bit more money. Anyway, the other thing was, so Andrew gave me the £680 back. I've got all of the. Have I got all of the parts? Yeah, I think I've got all of the parts I need. Oh, and not all of them. I need to make a RGB to HDMI for him. Once I've got this Harlequin built, it's not going to cost the £680. Not even close to it. I will send that back to Andrew. I need to pay for the postage out of that £680 because that's going to cost to send it to America. It's going to cost quite a packet safely. So I'll send that back. Whatever's left over, which should be a couple of £100 to maybe 300 plus. I don't know. I've not checked. Just been spending the money on the making the ultimate ZX Spectrum for Andrew. All the rest of the money will go to the befriending scheme. Yeah, so the listing's got probably 8 days to go. Let's see how it goes. Spread the word, don't bid, and let's try and get that Spectrum back. If we get it back, we can sell that one for auction, add it to the other money. I still have another Spectrum from Lee Smith that needs repair and send it. So I might try, if I get time to do all this together, it might wander into January, and maybe I'll set up a mini stream in January just to or an event of some kind in January to publicise this and drum up a bit of cash at the same time. Yeah, so I've got a computer from Lee Smith that needs to be repaired, put into a new case, and that can go into auction. That's going to be a boxed system, so that'll be quite a cool thing. And there is a Amstrad. I know it's not on theme, but it's one of the reasons I didn't include it in the original auctions, but I always intended to auction this off for charity, for the befriending scheme. Retro Crazy, Duncan from Retro Crazy sent me an Amstrad. That's over in the corner. What if I can get it? No, it's buried. He sent me an Amstrad CPC 464 that he picked up in France. That's absolutely filthy inside. So that'll be fun to open up and see if it works, and make a small video on that. And that's going to go up for auction as well. So we've got an Amstrad, a Spectrum, and whatever's left over from the funds for the missing Spectrum to give to the befriending scheme. To what it'll be really handy for them at the moment. They're having awful problems with their minibus. It keeps breaking down, so I think they're going to be starting to raise funds to replace that, which is quite a lot of money. But if we can help them out, it'll be marvelous. Before I sign off, I was just editing my video. I'm back in my workshop. It's much later in the day, and it's cold again. I've got the heater on again, and I was just editing my video and editing this video to get out as quickly as possible, because that's the idea. And one of Jeff Bezos's Christmas elves knocked on the door with a couple of packages for me. So thank you to Matthew, Matthias Bass, Sega Retro Dev. Thank you very much for this. That's really kind of you. This is a remote control, a Bluetooth remote control, a wireless remote control for Sony cameras. So I use Sony ZV-E10 cameras, and one of the things, this part of this is Reese's fault, Control-Alt Reese's fault. He got one of these remote controls and showed how really handy they are. So you can set up and you don't have to walk over, switch on the camera. So you won't see me doing this at the beginning of a shot. It's really handy if I've got the camera all set up on my workbench up here. So there's, where's the other one? Oh, it's actually on the workbench. But I have one set up over there, pointing down onto the workbench, and I have another one set up above the screen over here, which is like my face camera. That's all going to change soon, and it's very dark here. Let's turn the light on. Yeah, so I have that a camera up over there, and when I have to reach up, it's not so bad on the overhead one because it's not too far away. But if I have to reach up to that one, I'm always moving its position, pressing the wrong buttons because you have to reach around to sometimes I've had hours of footage where I've recorded in completely the wrong frame rate because I've hit a button that gives you a shortcut on the top of the camera to a different way of recording. Like, it's called S&Q, slow and I think it's slow and quick. So you can do like slow-mos and freeze frames and that sort of thing. Anyway, so that's really, really handy. That's a very, very handy thing for me. And it was on my wish list for a reason. Matthew says, "Happy Christmas, Lee," from Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. I really appreciate it. You've always been a great supporter, and you've helped me out so much in the past, and I really appreciate it. And it was so cool to meet you at the cave as well. But yeah, this one was not on the list for people to buy. This was here. This was my Christmas present to me. I was going to buy this with my Christmas vouchers, and now I have to find something else. I'll say what that is in a second. But this is Curtis Ovard. Is that how you say your name? Curtis is another long-term channel supporter who's helped me out tons in the past, and is just a really nice guy. It's always positive in the comments, and engages and enjoys the videos. And he says, "Enjoy your gift. Videos are great. Keep up the good work. Happy holidays," from Curtis. Thank you, Curtis. So this is a Camlink 4K from Elgato. And this will basically allow me to connect my camera to my PC and capture the output in 4K. Currently, my capture device, which is an Elgato HD60S, is a bit broken. That has caused me a lot of grief. It caused me grief during the live streams because cameras just kept disappearing. I've got two capture devices. I've got the Elgato, is supposed to be the good one, and I've got a really cheapo, nasty Amazon one. In fact, it's another one recommended by Control-Alt Reese, and the brand name, this is how good it is, the brand name for this capture device is Wank, spelled W-A-N-K-E. Make of that what you will. It's almost as good as the Minger light branded lights I've got. That actually works all the time, but the quality is poor. So I tend to use that for my face cam if I'm doing live streams, and then the top-down camera I connect to the Elgato HD60S because that's always usually the bigger part of the picture. Looking at the bigger picture, and I need that to be the best quality. So that's been poor recently. I don't know if you know, but I've been hosting some part of the Big Red. You'll be hearing more and more about the Big Red Arrow Club soon, and part of what's been going on there is I've been hosting some panels. Reese hosted the first one because I had COVID, and I've hosted the second two, or the second one and the third one, and these are YouTubers talking about YouTube basically, but we're going to expand into other things. So we'll also be talking about things to do with retro and hardware and all sorts of other things. Anything's open for discussion, and it's just not just Big Red Arrow Club members. We're going to have outside people coming in, and there's going to be all sorts of things on there. And in one of those recently, I connected up my camera. I had 7 people in the first one, and my camera just died. And it was the Elgato that had just decided no, not today. And the only other way I can do it, and it didn't really matter so much in the panel thing, was I could connect the camera directly to the PC with the USB cable, but then that's just 720p, so I lose. I mean, it's a 4K camera. I'm losing a lot of pixels. I'm leaving a lot of pixels on the table. So this is a big upgrade. This is something that I've been after for a while, and looking for a reason to spend the money, and it's been getting more and more pressing. So Curtis, that is absolutely cracking. Thank you, really really good. You've made my Christmas. That's my Christmas present. That's like a main Christmas present. Thank you very much. Anyway, bye.